Hello, this is Papa Tom. I want to welcome you to my very first YouTube video. My channel is going to be mostly for just general day-to-day stuff that I run into or thoughts that I think about, but also do presentations of different things relative to what I think might be important for people out there. For example, today my girls and I are going to put together a road assistant kit for their mom, and I thought it'd be kind of fun to do that. Show you what we think we ought to put into a kit for her car or truck. And at the same time, I'm going to demonstrate a couple things. One, for those of us that have had financial issues and you see all these videos with these high dollar things, I'm going to kind of demonstrate maybe how to do it with no cost for those out there. But again, I just wanted to thank you for coming and watching my channel. If it's something you like, please click the like button as well as hit the subscribe button. I'd just like to hear from everybody. Any comments that you have, I'd really appreciate that. Again, thank you. Again, I'm E.T. Moore, but most of the people call me Papa Tom. Hi, Papa Tom again. So I told you that the girls and I were going to show you how to make a emergency road kit. So the first thing we're going to talk about is what goes into a kit. Now this is me. I'm not a professional by any means. But this is what we think needs to, Oscar has to get in the middle of it, what we think should go into a kit at the minimum. Okay? First of all, what do you think, girls? What do you think should be the first thing that goes into a kit?
A blanket.
A blanket. Good idea. Michaela, you got a nice blanket there. So you may go out and buy a blanket, but if you have one, that's great. The heavier the better. And so you need a nice blanket of some sort. Now, for those that don't have money, that can't go out and buy this kind of stuff, LaShonda, do you want to grab a garbage bag there? Now, you can put this in a Rubbermaid tote or in a tote like this, where it makes it nice and neat and clean. But if you can't afford something like this, what can they use, LaShonda?
A garbage bag?
Yeah, a nice big garbage bag. So what we're going to do here is LaShonda is going to be putting the kit together in a garbage bag, and Michaela is going to put one in together for her mom in the tote. The garbage bag will probably be Papa's. That's what I'm betting. So first is a blanket. Michaela, you got a blanket there. Do you want to put it inside the tote? Just leave the tote on the floor, sweetie pie. And LaShonda, you got a blanket there. Now what this blanket that LaShonda has is an old wore out electric blanket that nobody uses anymore. It was in our storage. I forgot we even had it. So we got a nice blanket. So you need to put that in your bin in there, and that's for if you get stranded on the road when it's cold, like it is today. The wind chill got to minus 40 today. So, and that's Celsius or Fahrenheit, whoever's listening. So, I'm going to put that in the bottom there, Buck. So, a blanket is very important. What else might we want, girls?
Gloves and a hat.
Gloves and hat. So, if you each want to grab, right over here is yours, Michaela. Now, again, I'm going to show you something. Just a simple toque with some gloves. But maybe you have some unmatched gloves. Families with kids, that's normal. So, it's okay. As long as you have a right and a left, unmatched, they're not going to get big deal. But that's a good idea. Or you might just have some of these simple. I'm really big on when I go to the store, if I see gloves on sale because we have kids and grandkids that get lost, I buy a dozen of them. But if you don't have much, just grab whatever you have. So if you girls want to put the gloves and the hats, there's gloves there too, sweetie pie, in there. Okay? There should be a hat over there too, Bug. Yep. What else, Michaela, do you think we ought to have in there?
First aid kit.
First aid kit. Good job, Michaela. You want to grab that one there that I have? The red one right there, yep. The red one, yep. Now, there's several ways you can do that, and you need to know I'm not being paid or marketing any of this, but this is what I went and picked up for my wife today. It's an emergency road kit, and in it it's got a first aid kit, jumper cables, it's got some tie downs, some gloves, flashlight. It's got pretty much all the main things you need. But, you want to put that in there? If you can't afford that, you can make your own. LaShonda, you want to hand me that there? Yep. I'm big on Ziploc bags, mainly because you can do about anything with them. So grab yourself a Ziploc bag. And in here I have some Band-Aids, a little pair of scissors, some ibuprofen. And for you guys, don't worry, but the best large trauma dressing there is out there is a feminine napkin. So we have a couple of those in here. And anything else you can think of. Maybe some different ointments, you know, or whatever, but mainly just a simple first aid kit. Also that's in that red kit is things like jumper cables. If you have a set of jumper cables, that's great. If not, you can buy an inexpensive pair for $15, $16. I also believe in having a little bit of a fire starter kit. LaShawn, do you want to give that other Ziploc bag there? So the fire starter kit, I just throw some stuff in here. It's got some cardboard, it's got some toilet paper, and I use old medicine bottles, and inside one of them is I soak some cotton in Vaseline, or in Vaseline, and I put it in one, and then in the other I put matches. I like the wooden matches, but you can use any kind of matches. But if you have the wooden ones, you need something to strike on. So I take an old piece of sandpaper, cut it off, and then I roll it up and I put it in here. So we have matches and a striker for those matches. And I like medicine bottles because they kind of keep everything contained and clean and whatnot. So anyway, that's what goes in the fire starter. And like I said, I have some cardboard and some other stuff in here. So whatever you can think of that you think might be important. Okay? What else might we need, girls?
Snacks.
Snacks. So you might want to grab some kind of snacks, whether it's granola bars, something that can stay over for a while. Some different cookies. It doesn't matter if they get stale, but something, and maybe some bottled water. You may freeze in the back, but you can always need water. So also maybe some candles. I tried to find some of our tea candles my wife has, but I couldn't find any. But you know, the little round tea candles, have a handful of them, put them in a Ziploc bag. They're good for heating if you need it. That kind of thing. What else, girls?
Flashlights.
How about a flashlight? So there's different kinds of flashlight. Where's the black one you had there, LaShonda? This one here is one that one of my kids got me. It's got a little flashlight, but it's also has emergency flashing. Anyway, can't get it to work right now. Something simple, doesn't have to be, and also an extra set of batteries, depending on what you kind of batteries, what kind of flashlight you have. This kit that we have here, this kit actually has a flashlight with batteries in it, and it also has some little tea candles in it. So this has got pretty much everything. It's got a pair of gloves. It's got a few things like that in it. So they were trying to find the other flashlight. Just a simple flashlight. Go to any hardware store for $5 or $6. You can buy a flashlight. Grab some batteries. I like them that have the LED light in them. For one, they're brighter. And for two, they last a lot longer with a set of batteries. That way you don't have to have a whole bunch of batteries. So, flashlight. What else do you think we need, girls?
Toilet paper.
Toilet paper. It's good to have a roll of toilet paper in there. So, Michaela, do you want to throw some in there? Now, I'm big on plastic bags. I don't like plastic bags in my industry, what I do, but they're important for this kind of thing. Michaela, can you demonstrate what a plastic bag might be good for? What happened to our plastic bag demonstration that we had? There it is right there. Plastic bags can be used for a lot of things. But let's say it's really raining, it's cold, it's drizzly, but you don't have any good raincoats out there. You can use a plastic bag for raincoat. Now, never put a bag over anybody's head, but all I did was cut a little hole in the middle, and now we have a little bit of a raincoat. So, plastic bags are good. So you want to throw some plastic bags in there. LaShonda, Michaela, there's plastic bags. You want to put them in your respective coats there? And did we talk about socks?
No.
We haven't talked about socks yet. You ought to have some spare socks. Now, what are some ideas you can use for spare socks for, LaShonda?
Gloves.
You can use them for gloves if you don't have enough gloves. So they work good for that. You did that once. So that helps tremendously. Also, Ziploc bags are nice if your feet get wet, you can, or you're afraid you're going to get wet, you can put them over your socks and kind of help keep your feet from getting wet. So, want to throw these in there, sweetie? All right. Other ideas that I have that you might want to throw in, it's not required, but some kind of a knife. Maybe a razor knife. Maybe this is actually an old Scout knife that has all sorts of things in it, or just a simple knife, or set a pair of scissors. You never know. We actually had to cut somebody out of a seatbelt one time, and fortunately we had a knife. If not, it might have been a challenge. So I would recommend some kind of a knife in your kit. Okay. Can you think of anything else, girls? But one main thing I want you to look at is this is just as good as a tote.
Yeah.
So, just if you don't have a lot of money or you don't have a way to do it, just go through your house and kind of find a few extra things that you can put in here. Have it in your trunk, have it in the backseat of your car, wherever. Or you can have a nice tote like this. I want to thank you for watching for us today. Sorry I'm not very good at speaking. Thank you, LaShonda and Michaela, for helping me. And I hope this is informative. Again, we're in minus 35 degree weather right now. The wind's cold. If a vehicle breaks down, you need something to protect you. And I know there's a lot of the country right now that's that way. So I recommend some kind of an emergency kit in the back of your vehicle. And you can get through the day, hopefully, if you break down until something comes up. Another idea that LaShonda had earlier was maybe an extra charger or an extra way to charge your phone. They've got those little portable chargers. Maybe have one of them laying around so it doesn't, because if your battery goes dead on your vehicle, you can't always charge. Any other ideas, girls?
No.
If you have any old jackets, coats, anything like that you don't use, may not hurt to throw one or two inside of your kit, just to have. You never know. If you have kids, make sure you got a few things for the kids, maybe some games, that kind of stuff that can help. Again, thank you, and you have a great day.